Thank you for tuning in. I think this is a really important thing for you guys to understand. And I'm going to keep it as beginner as possible just to help you guys get the first few pages to turn in terms of how do you research crypto. Okay. And for those who do not know, I do have quite a lot of credibility in this area. I am a digital asset hedge fund manager. My name is Jake Tullis. I go by JT, and I run Bleeding Edge Capital. We are a crypto hedge fund out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and we take a discretionarily long approach using research and fundamentals to pick the most likely protocols to be adopted and to understand the token that sits on top of these protocols to understand how effective they would be at capturing the value these protocols generate. So, I kind of know what I'm talking about. And if you want to look into me, please go to the banner, go look me up. I'm a pretty public guy. That's why you see my face and talking to you right now. So, reach out with any questions. I am going to show you very briefly what it looks like. And there's some nuances to crypto that you're not going to expect coming from someone in my position. I'm assuming because it's nothing like traditional finance at all. Um, anyways, yeah. So let's get to it. Believe it or not, the first place I start is going to be podcasts and Twitter. It's really that simple. The trick to podcast and Twitter are the sources, the accounts, and the people behind the accounts and what they do. 90% of the stuff, I use Twitter just as a news alert. If you go to my following, you'll see I don't post on it. I don't even know how to use the freaking thing. But when I listen to people on podcasts that I've very specifically spent years listening to and figuring out what the best ones are to listen to for crypto specifically, okay, I literally have only followed people that are guest appearances that seem like experts that I then go to their website and research. And I'm going to do like a brief example, okay? So on um, Apple Podcasts, I heard a um, I heard this gentleman, and you might know him, you might not know him, Raul Paul. He was a guest speaker on a podcast that I love, Bankless. Bankless, they are Ryan and David. They have their own venture capital firm. They've been doing crypto since 2016. They're great guys. This was a guest appearance. I then go look into Raul Paul. It turns out he's a billionaire that runs a hedge fund, Real Vision. And you start just finding really, really successful people in this space. I listened to 6 podcasts, and it's the same thing that I'm about to show you on Twitter. I am listening for things that stick out to me. So just in the same things on Twitter right here. I've spent, like I said, a while making sure I'm following very credible sources. So I see some, I'm just scrolling here. I'm just looking for something. That's Bitcoin, Filecoin, which I am a fan of. I'm a big fan of Filecoin. Okay, here we go. I don't know what Metaplanet is. And 443%, pretty good. Bitcoin strategy. So I would then just go to Metaplanet. It's a public company. Okay. So it's a Japanese company that adopted Bitcoin. No big deal. We're going to keep going, right? And sorry, I know I'm overweight, but I've been doing martial arts on and on most of my life, so I do watch some of that stuff. Solana unveils details of second phase. Okay. So you can see here Cardano, they retweeted Swarm. I don't know what Swarm is, right? Let's see. No links, virtual nations. See, that's not something I'm interested in. Why? Because it's an app. I'm going to keep going. And I don't want to waste your guys' time, but this is literally someone that is raising millions of dollars and making decisions on behalf of investors. I'm telling you, this is where it starts. Listening to podcasts and paying attention to all my alerts from accounts that I trust. And the reason it's this way is because mainstream media doesn't understand this asset class. If I avoid the tinfoil, I think I'm avoiding the tinfoil. Okay. Regardless of why, they spread misinformation like crazy about this asset class. So I have to go to people that actually understand it, that actually know, and they are on Twitter and they are on podcasts. They are entrepreneurs, they are fund managers, they are experts in the field, and they are on those places because they too don't trust mainstream media and they don't work with them because mainstream media wants nothing to do with them because they talk about this stuff. So you go through this stuff, and then you simply just start Googling, okay? And then one that I've been looking at a while, is Tau. I found it on a tweet, and then I go look up the ticker on CoinMarketCap. I'll Before I even do prices and charts and all of that stuff, I will go pull up their white paper and their GitHub and their website. Boom. This is their technical documentation. This is their design behind the system. I will read this. I don't know how much I'll be able to take out of it. I have 10 years of software development experience and I've never gotten to the depth of the actual math that goes behind the algorithms. So, maybe I can get 30, 40% first read and get a little bit deeper, 40, maybe 50, 60% on the second read. Now, I have experience designing systems and everything else, so you may not get a lot, but making sure they have a white paper and making sure that it has references and you can go look up the author, right? That would be another thing. So if I go to LinkedIn and I go look for this gentleman, see, it's not great. He's not even doxed on LinkedIn, right? Something to pay attention to. Their website looks good. It's glitchy. I don't know. So let's then go look at our GitHub, and I talk about this a lot. We can go to Insights. This is their master branch. It should default there. This is like their total code base, if you will. This is good news here. A lot of their repos are being updated. They have 85 contributors, which is good. And then if you click Insights, it will give you a decent amount of data about the activity of the network. What I'm doing right now is looking at the actual developer community to make sure this is legit, right? It'll take some time, but after you go through the white paper and the GitHub, making sure that there's actual activity, that it's a real network, there are real people contributing to it, all this other stuff, you can spend a lot of time in here, okay? And making sure they have a GitHub. Um, all of that is what I do when I am scrolling Twitter and I see someone I trust talking about this new AI network like Tau, right? I want to better understand what it is. I don't take them at face value. I start doing my own research. After I go through the technical specs on the logical design and I go through the developer community, I then will see how much information about the network is out on. Actually, I'll show you that here. I know I go long on these things. I'm sorry, guys. Um, I'll also go to, oh, see, this website, man, they got way too much scripting on that. It's taken way too long. Hold on. Wrong one. Oh, so there we go. Dune. And then I'll check to see what's going on with Dune. So I can type in AI, let's say, narrative tokens. And then here you can go look. I mean, look at this data, guys. You can go look at token prices, the supply, the concentration, like I mean, there's just so much data here. But I don't see tau, right? Here we go. This is free, by the way, and public. And then once you get to big boy status, you can link up an API and get this stuff dropped right into wherever you want. But I'll then go to Dune API. I'm sorry, Dune, and then I'll see what I can find out about the health of the token in terms of its liquidity, where it's at, how it's spread out. Then, if everything looks good from a technology perspective, the tokenomics, I then go to the team. I couldn't find the founder online, and then I'll go look for any contributors to the white paper, any people that are on the team on the website, etc. If the team looks good, networks look good, system looks good, token looks good, I then go look at price. And I try to decide if we've got through all that and I'm excited, I like it. I then will figure out if it's a good time to buy or not. And then traditional finance steps in a bit. Some charts, but not much, guys. I'm a fundamentals guy. I want to make sure this network is healthy and that people like building on it and that it's likely an entrepreneur will use it when they build their dream. And I'm investing in the likelihood that more and more dreamers will use what's in my portfolio because this stuff is software. If I wanted to make an on-chain TikTok, right, I would need to render video files. Render's a great option for that. I would need to store all the data for my users in a decentralized way where they still own the data. So Filecoin could be good for that, or Arweave. These are things that you need to build, right? If you break open Facebook like a Russian nesting doll, you just Facebook's the first layer. Pull it up, boom. DNS, because Facebook.com only exists through the protocol DNS. Open it up again. SMTP. That's the only way they can send files from server to server that allows Messenger or like, a comment as an example, and so on and so forth. So most apps have 5, 10, 15 protocols that are on the internet, public, that they use to build the website that we all know and love. And my job is to understand what are the most likely protocols to be adopted in the future for the next wave of applications coming our way. Either through enterprise adoption, like them saying, oh, it'd be so great if we had a loyalty program with NFTs. Well, where are we going to do that? Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Cosmos, Polkadot, XRP, XLM. There's so many options. Why would they pick one? And that is my job, and that is your job as someone trying to understand what this stuff is. You're trying to invest long term. You got to understand what it is, and you got to understand how likely it is someone could use it in the future.